That's right, New York Giants fans. The Giants have seen the light. They beat the hapless Colts and did what they needed to do to get into the playoffs. This is kind of what I wanted to see them do. I wanted to see them beat a bad team like this and beat them handily, 38-10. And you know what? You didn't back your way into the playoffs. You pushed your way into the playoffs. So you got to give a big shout out to Brian Dable and the Shaner. And you got to give a big shout out today for Daniel Jones in his 4-touchdown game. But you know what? This has been a team effort all year long. This has been one guy stepping up for the next week and one guy coming in the next week. You gotta look at that big play from Landon Collins. Also, I think it somewhat was a pivotal turning point in that big 24-point quarter. Of course, the Giants scored 24 points in the quarter. That's just crazy. But you know what? It's good because it's been an eon. It's been an eon in the day since Giants fans had something to celebrate. Giants fans had something to look at in reference to being playoff bound. I predicted they would win 5 games, and I was 100% wrong. I'm glad I was 100% wrong. There's nothing better than being wrong when the team makes the playoffs. Would have been better if we had a home playoff game. I would have liked that better because I am a season ticket holder. But you know what? Big kudos to the entire team. Big kudos to the defense. Big kudos to Shane. Big kudos to the Dable. Kudos to Daniel Jones. Kudos to Saquon Barkley. You got to give Graham Cano even had 2 solo tackles today. Everyone was getting into the game today. You had Kayvon Thibodeau with another sack as well, saying was sexy Dexy. It's a nice way to push into the playoffs. And like I said, it's one of those things that you wanted to see the Giants do this. This is what you wanted to see them do. You didn't want to see, and I said it on the stream the other day, I don't want to see the Giants have a 24-17 or 17-16 win. I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see the Giants kick in the playoff door, earn that spot in the playoffs. And that's what they did. They did that right now. They earned their spot. They earned their way in. No one can sit there and tell them or say anything that the Giants did not win their way into the playoffs. There was no, there's no backing in the door. They did what they needed to do, and they did it well. And you know what? Big kudos, like I said, to the entire organization, to the Giant team, to everyone, because it was a big win. It was a big win. Daniel Jones had 4 touchdowns, had 2 rushing, 2 passing. You had the defense that stepped up, and I'm not going to say it was a Herculean task in reference to stepping up and stopping the Indianapolis Colts, but they did what they had to do, and this is what playoff teams do. And I'm not saying the Giants are going to win a playoff game. I'm not saying the Giants are going to be pushing themselves into the Super Bowl. I'm not saying any of that, but what I am saying is this: they did it the right way. They won the game. They won the game handily. They showed that what they needed to do, they did. They pushed forward. They sallied forward, and they had the big win. And you got to give all the credit in the world to everyone there. You got to give all the credit in the world to Daniel Jones today. You got to just, you got to tip your cap to this team and just say, you know what? Could there be some playoff magic? I'm not thinking there's going to be playoff magic. But like I said, I'm not taking away from this, but I am taking this from this game. The Giants did what needed to be done. And I have to give them all the credit in the world for that. I have to, like I said, you really have to tip their cap for this entire season. You had a lot of people, including myself, that did not think that they were going to, be very good this year. And, there was a point in time where you're sitting at 2-5-1. After these first 8 games, and you were getting a little concerned that, were you going to be able to make the playoffs? Were the Giants are going to have some help getting into the playoffs? And the only issue was the fact that all they had to do was win to get in. And that's exactly what they did. They won to get in. And you just have to it's been one of these seasons that you know that this team was in a rebuild. You understood that this team was in a rebuild, but you got excited each week about what was going on. I know, like I said, I got excited every week when I went to the games because of the fact that it was something that you haven't seen in a Giant stadium in a long time. And it's one of those things that you got excited each week to go to the game, to go to the stadium. I mean, I went through some years, and that's why I canceled my season tickets. I went through some years where it was just not fun going to the stadium. I always enjoyed going to the game. I always enjoyed hanging out on the field and doing stuff like that. But it just, you lost so many different ways and so many different bad ways that it just wasn't exciting to be there as a Giant fan. But I still went. I always talk about the days. I remember the Washington game on New Year's Eve where it was like -7. And, we stayed out there. And there was not a very large crowd, but the crowd that was there was very boisterous. That was a game that, New Orleans Darkwa had a big game. Eli, we all thought it was going to potentially be Eli Manning's last game, but we were there. And you have to give credit to the Giant fans that show up week in and week out. You got to give credit to the guys that are always at that stadium and all the guys that are always in my section and everything else. Because of the fact that, you made this more than, you made this, the fan base deserved this season. The fan base deserved this win. And like I said, I would love to have the Giants go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, because you know what? Because then by February 17th show, it'd be awesome as I'm signing off for the last time. And like I said, I hope that, I hope it's a run that continues. You hope, but but it's one of those things that you're now going to be playing very good teams. And we're not going to get into the playoffs because we don't know the playoff matchup yet, but we are going to get into just the fact that, as a Giant fan, smile today. Smile today. Understand that you did something that most people did not think that the Giants were going to be able to do. That Vegas didn't pick us to do. That most sports writers and most prognosticators didn't pick you to do. But like I said, you clinched the playoff berth. You kicked in the door. You beat a bad Indianapolis team like you should have. And that's the key. You beat an Indianapolis team like you should have. And that's what the Giants did. They beat a team and they won a game. It's always one of those. You always go back to the annals of Giant history that this would have been. That's why I think this in some ways is a new dawn and a new era with the Shable, because a lot of times this would be a trap game for the Giants. They would have to go into the last game of the season waiting to try to find a way to win against the playoffs. It's almost a Tom Coughlin thing. I even go back to Parcells. Back in that second season, that second Super Bowl with Parcells, where we almost lost to the New England Patriots at the end of the season with Jess Hostetler, and we all thought in 1990 that the whole wheels were going to fall off the bus because of the fact that we lost Phil Simms and we had Haas going into the playoffs. I'm not hearkening that win to this, but I am just saying, as a Giant fan, enjoy the day, enjoy the moment, enjoy the next couple days. We still got a game in Philadelphia. We still have to see who our playoff matchups, our opponents are going to be. Let's not worry about the offseason and who's going to be signed and who's not going to be signed. Focus on what's in front of you. Focus on the good. Focus on the fact that everyone is a Giant fan. And there's still going to be some stupid fucking comments from people who are like, well, I told you so. Yeah, and there's also the same assholes that would say that, but then change their mind every week. So you just stay out of the comment section. This comment section today is only for the sexy people. It's only for the good Giant fans, the Giant fans that understand what this is, understand the meaning, and feel good that this team did something that a lot of people would never have expected them to do, including myself. So you know what? Thumbs up for the G-Men. This is Tim. This is Online Big Blue, bringing the best New York Giants sports talk entertainment. And as always, if you could like, subscribe, and ring that bell notification, that'd be awesome.